There was a time in my life when I thought the answer to almost every problem was to add something. More friends, more plans, more clothes, more beauty products, more supplements, more goals, more things to do, more things to take care of. I thought that if I could just add the right things to my life, eventually I would be safe. I would feel happy. I would finally feel like I had my life together. But instead, I became incredibly stressed. I was anxious, I couldn't sleep, my mind was constantly busy, and I always felt like there was something else I needed to do, fix, buy, organize, or worry about. And looking back now, I can understand how I got there. I came to the United States when I was very young, and suddenly I was in a new country, speaking a new language, without my family and without much of a safety net. If something went wrong, I was completely on my own. So I started building this little fortress around myself, except instead of bricks, I built it out of people and things and responsibilities. I wanted friends so badly that for a while I basically allowed whoever came into my orbit to stay there. I said yes to invitations I didn't really want to accept. I spent time with people I didn't necessarily enjoy being around. My social calendar was always full, and somehow, even though I was surrounded by people, I wasn't necessarily happier. Eventually, I learned something that seems very obvious to me now. Friendship is something you have to curate, because having the wrong people in your life can sometimes feel much lonelier than having no one around at all. And I did the same thing with stuff. I bought clothes, shoes, makeup, beauty products. I remember looking around my bathroom once and realizing I had 5 or 6 different shampoos. Why does one human being need 6 different types of shampoos? Apparently I thought I did. And then there were the responsibilities. I was financially responsible for myself. I was helping support my family in Brazil. I had a full-time job. I had friendships and relationships and obligations and goals. And whenever all of that became overwhelming, instead of asking myself what I could remove from my life, I would add something else. And if I didn't feel good about myself, maybe I needed a new beauty routine. If I couldn't sleep, maybe I needed another supplement. Vitamin D, B12, niacin, something for sleep, something for energy because I hadn't slept. And when I was younger, there was also alcohol. I drank a lot more in my 20s, and looking back, I see that it was another coping mechanism. Of course, the irony is that many of the things I was doing to make myself feel better were actually making my life harder. I was putting band-aids over a much bigger wound because I didn't need another supplement. I didn't need another product. I didn't need another social event, and definitely I didn't need another shampoo. What I needed was structure. I needed routines. I needed habits. And definitely I needed boundaries. And maybe most importantly, I needed to learn how to edit my own life. That's something I've only really began to understand in recent years. We spend so much time thinking about what we should add to our lives. What should I buy? What should I accomplish? What should I start doing? Who should I meet? Where should I go? What should I become? But I don't think we spend nearly enough time asking, what can I remove? What isn't working anymore? What am I doing simply because I've always done it? What am I buying because someone convinced me I needed it? Which relationships actually make me feel better? Which responsibilities are really mine? Which routines make me feel grounded? And which ones just create more noise? Because I've learned that simplifying your life isn't necessarily about owning 12 things and living in an empty white room. At least that's not what it means to me. I like things. I like beautiful things. I like decorating my room. I like clothes. I like little luxuries. I like having adventures and trying new things. I don't want to make my life smaller. I want to make room for parts of it that actually matter. And sometimes making room means editing. Editing your possessions, our schedules, habits, expectations. Sometimes even editing the people we allow access to our lives. And replacing all of that noise with things that are surprisingly simple. A routine, a peaceful home, movement, good food, sleep, time outside, time alone, creative projects, people we genuinely love being around, and enough empty space in our lives to actually enjoy them. And that's what I want this channel to be about. Not a perfect life, not an aesthetic version of simplicity where everything is beige and you somehow own exactly one wooden spoon. Just a real person figuring out how to create a life that feels peaceful, meaningful, and manageable. We'll talk about simplifying our homes, our routines, our finances, our beauty routines, our relationships, our schedules, and all of those little decisions that quietly shape the way our days feel. I'll share things I'm learning, things I'm changing, things I'm getting rid of, things I'm trying, and probably plenty of things I get completely wrong along the way, because I don't think a simple life is something you achieve once and then you're finished. I think it's something you keep creating. You add, you remove, you adjust, you pay attention, and you keep asking yourself, does the life I'm building actually feel good to live? Not just, does it look good? Does it impress people? Does it look like the life I'm supposed to want? But does it feel good when nobody else is watching? That's the kind of life I'm interested in creating now, and that's what I want to explore here. A little less noise, a little less pressure, a little less of everything we've told we need, a lot more room for the things we actually love. Welcome, I'm Claudia, and this is my journey towards a simpler life.